Hello and welcome to another Demis Hellen tutorial. We are taking a look at a pad synth today, and the one in particular is completed in Massive, and it is called the Pad Crisp Runner. Now let's just solo this track so you can see exactly what's going on here. Let's take a listen to this sound. And obviously this accompanies this synth you've seen before. Okay, so the pad is created in Massive, and I'm just going to give you a quick walkthrough, and you can also just download it in the description below by going over to my Facebook page and clicking like on there, and then you get access to all the downloads. So, created in Massive, we're using 3 oscillators, so we're using the full benefit of the software. And we have started on 2 saw waves on the first ones, and then an additive 3 wave shape down here. So original pitch position, then we have 1 octave below, and then original pitch position again. So let's just listen to these individually. We'll just leave everything else on. So the first one sounds like this. The second, like this. So exactly the same, but an octave lower. And then we have the additive 3 synth down here, creating some of the airiness, especially with some of the things that are going on in the effects here. So combined together, obviously I've tamed down this one, and it's on the bend, so on the spectrum bit there, the bend plus minus. Then I've just kind of tweaked it to where I want. And what we're going to do at the end of this video is just make some macro controls, and obviously that will be in the linked preset. So after there we hit the modulation oscillator, and we have the ring mod set to oscillator 3. We also have the phase set to oscillator 3 and the position set to 1, but I don't think that is meant to be there. That's just something I accidentally clicked. So look at the ring mod. We've just got it set a little bit just to add some tone to it. So let's just listen to what it's doing. It's just a little... Maybe that's something I clicked incorrectly there. Ah, that's why, because it's oscillator 3, not oscillator 1. So we have like a bit of a phasing sort of thing. Takes away the clarity the further it goes up. So I've just got it set to there. It's where I wanted it. And then we have phase on number 3 as well. So let's listen here. So I've set it here because that's where it's brightest, and that is the aim of the sound, to like add a bit more brightness to it, because that's what it sounds like beforehand. So it just adds that little bit hiss onto the top. Then we have the noise, but we don't have anything on. And then we hit the filter, just standard low pass 4 filter, nothing going on here at all. Then envelope 4, which is the master envelope, has got a very long release and a bit of a longer attack here to get rid of the bite of the synth. So instead of it being... It's just got that bit of a glide into the sound. Not too much, just a little bit, but enough to take it away from being a really harsh synth lead sound maybe. Then we have, in the voicing section, we have 13 unison on polyphonic, and we've got the pitch cutoff here switched on, and then the spread obviously turned up to the point where it sounds still audible because it goes a little bit nasty up there. But if we just turn this off, you'll hear what's happening. It's just spreading that unison and making it sound absolutely beautifully stacked. So there's loads of stacks on there, 13 to be precise. Then we've put the pan position on to give it a more fuller sound because it's very mono at this point. So this is without this pan position on. Very straight down the centre and mono. Then that just gives it a bit of width. I just prefer it there, sounds better. And that is practically it, apart from the inserts and them. So on the inserts, we've got the parabolic shaper, and then I've just shaped to taste, and we can use some macros to control this later. We're not using the second one. Over in the, obviously the effects here, we have effects 1 reverb, and you can see the settings there. So colour fully up, density nearly, all the way up along with the size, and then dry and wet to about 11. Then we have some chorus, a very small amount of chorus, just to add a little bit more unison to the sound. And then we have an EQ, which I've just turned off. The high shelf is set a little bit higher. The frequency is pushed near enough all the way up. I've just tuned this by hitting the boost. So boosting it up and then just tuning it to that synth sound. Sounds a bit nasty there. And it sounds a lot better in that position, so you can tailor it to your own sound as well. It's not just going to fit in nicely, but you can use that boost and frequency there. And then finally, let's have a look at what we can do with these. So we've got vibrato. I've got that turned up a little bit. That just comes preset with it. Number 2 we'll use as our cutoff. And we'll use envelope 1 to control the cutoff. In fact, no, we won't. We won't complicate it. So when we do this, let's have just that. Okay, so we can have it set the other way. So we can have it set to there and then up to full volume. And then possibly, let's just experiment. We need to have it there and then dropping down, so we're adding some crossfade on the resonance. That sounds nice. Nice and smooth when it fades out. Okay, so we'll call that one filter. And then on number 2, we'll do some controlling here. So let's mess around with the drive. We'll increase the drive, so when it's turned up, it'll do that. Increase the dry wet. And we'll call that bite. So it'll add a little bit of bite into it. So let's just listen to that fully filtered. Just has a little bit more. In fact, we'll call that bright. So it brightens it up a little bit. And we'll also control this high shelf here. We'll just increase it ever so slightly. There, so now we've got a bright macro there as well. What else can we do with the macros? Let's have a mess around with the modulation. So let's pick the ring mod here. And we'll just crank it up to the opposite end. And we'll also do that for the phase. So we're controlling 2 parameters in the phase here, in the ring modulation. Ring modulation in the modulation oscillator. So you could automate that just to create a little bit of movement or some weirdness in your track. So we'll call it Modubabe. No reason why, it's just sounds like a good word to use. Right, so we have that. So you've got 4 to work with there. I'll leave 4 for you to add your own in there. In fact, in Modulation Babe, we'll add, this is always a good one to use, change the size of the reverb. You get a nice weird effect. Let's have it even less than that. So it's just moving it a slight bit. There you go. So I'll save that there. Free to use in your own productions. You can find the link down below. And that is it for today's video. So leave me a comment. Let me know if you're going to use this sound. Do you like this sound? Do you want to see something else other than Massive? Do you want some pad sounds from Hive or Serum? Just let me know. And also subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because I'm uploading daily at this moment in time throughout March. And also I upload 2 a week as a normal schedule. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.